You walk into CVS for shampoo. Just one bottle, that's it. You know exactly what you need. But then you see the sign, bright red letters, buy two, get one free. Your brain does the math instantly. Three bottles for the price of two. That's 33% off. That's smart. That's beating the system. So you grab three bottles, even though one bottle lasts you 3 months. You walk to the register feeling like a financial genius. You just got a killer deal, but here's what actually happened. You spent $36 instead of $12. You bought 9 months of shampoo when you needed three. And CVS just extracted $24 from your wallet that you had zero intention of spending when you walked through those doors. You didn't save money. You spent 200% more than you planned, and you felt good doing it. This isn't luck. This isn't a sale. This is psychological warfare engineered by behavioral economists and perfected by retailers to hijack your decision-making and empty your bank account. My name is James, and I spend way too much time thinking about why we can't walk past a promotional offer without buying things we absolutely don't need. If you've ever justified a purchase because it was a good deal, if you've ever bought extra just to hit a discount threshold, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because today we're exposing the neuroscience and behavioral tactics behind bundle pricing. We're talking about the specific psychological triggers that make you spend 200 to 300% more than you intended, and why your brain is basically defenseless against them. To understand why bundle deals obliterate your budget, we need to look at research conducted in 1998 by Professor Akshay Rao at the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management. Rao wanted to understand how consumers respond to quantity limits and promotional framing. He ran an experiment in a supermarket using Campbell's soup. He set up 3 different conditions with the exact same product. Group 1 saw soup at the regular price, 89 cents per can. No special signage. Nothing fancy. Group 2 saw the same 89-cent price, but with a sign that said, Limit 12 per customer. Same price, just a restriction added. Group 3 saw buy 2, get 1 free promotions, which effectively brought the per can cost down to about 59 cents. Here's what happened. The control group with no promotion bought an average of 3.3 cans per customer. Reasonable. The group with the Limit 12 sign, despite no discount, bought an average of 7 cans per person, more than double, and the buy 2, get 1 free group purchased an average of 11 cans, more than triple the baseline. Think about that. Same soup. The bundle promotion tripled purchase quantity. And here's the kicker. A follow-up study by researchers Brian Wansink and Robert Kent, published in the Journal of Marketing Research in 1998, found that promotional quantity limits, even without discounts, increased sales by 50% on average. The restriction itself created urgency and anchored a higher purchase quantity in consumers' minds. This phenomenon works because of 3 psychological mechanisms firing simultaneously in your brain. First, loss aversion. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman proved that humans feel losses approximately twice as intensely as equivalent gains. When you see buy 2, get 1 free, your brain doesn't process it as spend more money. It processes it as you're losing free stuff if you don't take this deal. Not buying becomes a loss, even though you never had the item to begin with. Second, mental accounting. Richard Thaler's research at the University of Chicago showed that people categorize money into different mental buckets. The 2 bottles you pay for go into the expense bucket. The free bottle goes into the gain bucket. Your brain treats them as separate transactions, which makes the deal feel like pure profit, even though you're spending more total dollars than you planned. Third, quantity anchoring. The promotional offer sets a reference point for how much you should buy. If the sign says buy 2, get 1 free, your brain anchors on 3 units as the normal purchase quantity. Buying just 1 suddenly feels insufficient, cheap, like you're leaving money on the table. Let's walk through how this plays out in your actual life. Let's say you go to Bath & Body Works for hand soap. You need 1 bottle. It's $8, but there's a sign, buy 3, get 3 free. Your brain fires up, 6 bottles of soap for $24 instead of $48. That's a 50% discount. That's massive savings. So you buy 6 bottles. Here's the problem. 1 bottle lasts you 2 months. You just bought a full year of hand soap. You spent $24 when you walked in planning to spend $8. You didn't save $24. You spent an extra $16 you had no intention of spending, but it feels like winning because of the framing. Now let's escalate. You're at Target. You need deodorant. One stick, $6. But the shelf tag says, buy two, get one free. So you grab 3 sticks, $12 spent instead of $6. Then you walk past the shampoo aisle. Same deal. Buy two, get one free. Well, you do need shampoo eventually. 3 bottles for $24. Then conditioner. Same promotion. Another $24. Then body wash. Another $18. By the time you get to the register, you spend $78. You walked in for deodorant. $6. You're walking out having spent 1,200% more than you intended, and you feel smart because you got deals. But here's where it gets worse. Amazon and online retailers have perfected this at scale. You're buying a book on Amazon for $15. At checkout, Amazon suggests customers who bought this also bought these 2 books. Buy all 3 and save 15%. The bundle is now $38.25 instead of $45. You save $6.75. Feels rational. But you only wanted 1 book. You just spent $23.25 more than your original intent, and Amazon knows from their data that bundling increases average order value by 20 to 30%. They're engineering your cart size through strategic suggestions. Let's look at the grocery store trap. You need chicken breast, $8 per pound, but there's a family pack, 3 pounds for $20. That's 6.67 cents per pound. Significant savings per pound. So you buy 3 pounds. But you live alone. You're only going to eat 1 pound this week. The other 2 pounds sit in your freezer for 3 months, then you throw them out because of freezer burn. You didn't save $4. You wasted $12 on food you never ate. According to the USDA, the average American household throws away 31% of food purchased. Much of that waste comes from bulk buying that seemed economical at purchase. Here's the pattern. The promotion changes your purchase quantity, not your consumption rate. You still use 1 bottle of shampoo every 3 months. You still eat the same amount of chicken. The extra units don't create extra value. They just create extra spending in the moment and often waste later. Let me show you the math of what promotional buying costs you over time. According to a 2019 study by C+R Research, the average American falls for promotional pricing about 3 times per week. Let's be conservative and say you grab 1 buy 2, get 1 free deal per week at an average overspend of $15 beyond what you actually needed. That's $15 per week in unplanned promotional spending. $15 per week times 52 weeks equals $780 per year. Let's cut that in half to be really conservative. Let's say only $400 of that $780 is truly unnecessary spending on items you wouldn't have bought at full price or didn't actually need. That's $400 per year spent because a sign told you it was a good deal. Over 30 years, that's $12,000 spent on promotional excess. But here's where it gets painful. If you invested that $400 per year at a conservative 7% annual return, it would grow to approximately $40,100. If you invested the full $795 per year, that grows to $78,195 over 30 years. Let me reframe that. Those buy 2, get 1 free signs you can't resist aren't saving you money. They're costing you between $40,000 and $78,000 in wealth over your working lifetime. That's not a deal. That's financial destruction disguised as savings. And you're smiling while it happens because the sign said free. According to research from the Marketing Science Institute, retailers know that promotional pricing increases basket size by an average of 23% and trip frequency by 18%. You're not just spending more per visit. You're visiting more often because you're hunting for deals. The entire system is designed to increase your total spending while making you feel like a savvy shopper. Here's how you fight back against promotional manipulation. Strategy 1. Calculate per unit cost and compare it to your actual need timeline. When you see buy 2, get 1 free, pull out your phone calculator. Divide the total cost by the number of units. Then ask yourself, will I actually use all of these before they expire or before I would have bought them anyway? If a bottle of shampoo lasts 3 months and you're buying 3 bottles, you're prepaying for 9 months of shampoo. That's not savings. That's a zero-interest loan you're giving to the retailer. Strategy 2. Implement a strict needs-based shopping list and never deviate. Before you enter any store, write down exactly what you need and the quantity. When you see a promotion, ask one question. Was this on my list? If the answer is no, it doesn't go in your cart. Period. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that shoppers with strict written lists spent 23% less than those shopping without lists, specifically because they resisted promotional impulse additions. Strategy 3. Reframe free as forced spending. Your brain needs to stop seeing buy two, get one free as getting something free. Start seeing it as being forced to spend double to access a discount, because that's what it actually is. The retailer is saying, I'll give you a deal, but only if you spend more money right now. That's not generosity. That's a spending requirement. When you reframe it this way, the deal loses its psychological power. Strategy 4. Calculate the opportunity cost. Before you grab the bundle, ask yourself, if I invest this extra spending instead of buying excess product, what would it be worth? That extra $20 on shampoo bottles you don't need for 6 months invested at 7% over 30 years becomes $152. Every promotional trap you avoid isn't just money saved, it's wealth created. Strategy 5. Exploit the promotion only if you are already planning multiple purchases. If you genuinely need 3 bottles of shampoo because you have a family of 5 and you go through them in 6 weeks, then yes, the bundle makes sense. But only buy the bundle if every single unit replaces a purchase you were going to make anyway in the near future. If you're accelerating purchases or buying excess, you're not saving. You're being manipulated into spending. Here's the thing about promotional pricing that retailers don't want you to understand. These deals aren't designed to save you money. They're designed to increase their revenue per customer. Every buy two, get one free sign is a psychological weapon engineered to override your rational brain and trigger spending behavior you didn't plan. And it works because loss aversion, mental accounting, and quantity anchoring are hardwired into your neurology. Remember that shampoo bottle at CVS, the one you walked in to buy for $12? The promotion convinced you to spend $36 instead. You thought you saved $12, but you actually spent $24 extra. The math only works in your favor if you were going to buy 3 bottles this month anyway, and you weren't. Retailers know this. They've run the numbers. They know that promotional pricing increases total spending far more than it increases total consumption. You have a choice. You can keep falling for the signs, keep grabbing the bundles, keep feeling smart while your bank account drains. Or you can recognize the game, see the manipulation for what it is, and only spend money on what you actually need when you actually need it. The difference between those two paths is tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. If this video just saved you from grabbing the next buy two, get one free deal you see, smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. Next week, we're breaking down why grocery store layouts are designed like casinos. I'm James, and I'll see you in the next one. The word free isn't free. It costs you everything.